Hello everyone, this is Ted with OAXRAY, and today we're going to talk about how Bitcoin could be affecting your Amazon business in the near future. So if you have not been living under a rock for the past few years, there is something called BitCoin that has come out, which allows you to purchase items in person or on the internet with this Bitcoin. It's a digital currency which allows you to transfer money, pretty seamless, pretty easy to do once you understand how to use it. But there is some speculation that Amazon might be the first major marketplace. Now, a few countries around the world have said they're going to start accepting it, but the first major marketplace in the United States that is going to accept Bitcoin. Now, someone else might beat them out of the gate because this is a rumor so far, but what I'm very interested in is how this plays out worldwide, because anyone from any currency can own Bitcoin. You don't need a special bank account. You don't need to purchase items with a credit card or something like that. You can just use the Bitcoin. So what this means is that if you're selling something in the US and someone in Zimbabwe needed it before, they might have to get a US credit card or figure out a way to pay Amazon. But if they have Bitcoin, now they can purchase your item and get it shipped to wherever they are. So in my mind, this means that it will become much easier for international buyers to purchase things on Amazon, because no longer will they need anything in the US. They're not going to need a US bank or a US credit card, and they're not going to pay some of the fees that they might have had to pay before. So I think that by Amazon, and this is all speculation at the moment, but I keep seeing stories here and there about Amazon accepting Bitcoin and maybe other cryptocurrencies, that this could be a real game changer. Now, a lot of different people will use Bitcoin. I'm sure that more US buyers will buy Bitcoin. And once this happens, I really think that we will be in a time where you can literally buy anything from any country without any currency conversions, and just making it so easy for the average person to purchase things out of country. And really what we're doing, and what Amazon wants to do, is make a smaller world so that someone, if you want to buy something from someone in Tokyo, you don't have to say, well, what's the conversion from yen to American dollars? If you want to buy something from China, you don't have to say, when they say they want this many dollars in their currency, how do I do that currency calculation? No longer does that need to be made. They can send you and say, I want half of a Bitcoin. You know what the value of half of a Bitcoin is by looking at one of the Bitcoin exchanges, and you can just make that transfer. It's getting rid of some of the friction between two people in different countries. And this is really going to change things significantly. I think that this is really going to help. I think it's really going to make things easier, but there's still a possibility that the government can come in and say, we're going to start regulating Bitcoin a little bit more. But as of now, Bitcoin is pretty free flowing. Most countries, you can get Bitcoin, you can spend it, you can trade in it. And if one country does decide to cut down on Bitcoin, they say, well, you can't use Bitcoin in Canada. That Canadian buyer should still be able to use their Bitcoin to buy from a US buyer. So I think that keeping it open, keeping it free so that everybody can use it as much as possible is really going to make this a cool transition. And I think it's going to help Amazon itself, because it's going to bring in billions of dollars, billions of Bitcoin that are coming in from all over the world. People aren't going to have to do these transfers. I remember when I went to London, I needed to buy the British pound, things like this. So if I needed something, I had to purchase it in a different currency. I had to do currency exchanges, which cost money. But if I would have just had Bitcoin and Bitcoin was accepted everywhere, then it would have been much easier for me to transfer money when I was in a different country. And the same goes for this. A lot of people don't want to sign up for a US bank if they're living in a different country, or possibly a US credit card. Sometimes those things aren't compatible. But if Amazon starts accepting Bitcoin, it's going to make it seamless so that you can take your Bitcoin, buy whatever you want from whatever country. You don't have to worry about signing up for different things in those countries and going through a hard process. So if you see Bitcoin being accepted, know that I'm one of the first people to talk about this. This is going to be an awesome transition, and try to use it to your benefit. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day. Make some money using OAXRAY. Please like and subscribe. And if you have a question about Amazon, put a comment down below and I'll make a video about it as soon as I can.